Hey everybody, how's everyone doing out there? Happy holidays. Here with Emma, as you can see. We're just enjoying the first full day of my winter break here. She's wearing her Rams jersey. I was debating whether we should wear that or have her wear her McFarlane skirt. So we flipped a coin and the Rams won. So hopefully the Rams will win more than just a jersey on a dog. We're kind of hoping for an all LA Super Bowl. That would be pretty sweet. Unfortunately, she doesn't have much of a choice. I mean, not much of a reason to wear that Jaguars cheerleading outfit she has. Thanks a lot, Bortles. But that's okay, because I think she looks pretty cute in this jersey. Isaac, you'll just have to take my word for that. So what I want to do is I want to talk to you all individually because, what I love most about our family is that, like me, you don't believe in what society considers to be immediate family. Because technically, if you're an adult, you're not married, you don't have any kids, then you don't have a family. And if you're elderly and your kids moved out and they started their own families, you have grandchildren, but you don't have an immediate family other than your spouse. And I just think that's ridiculous, especially when you consider that technically Brian is my closest relative. He is my next of kin, but he's not immediate family because he has his own family. And I just think that is absurd. And I know you all feel the same way, so that's why I'm taking time out of our super busy schedule here to give a shout out to everybody. And, my dad always taught me, well, you know what? The common courtesy, the proper etiquette is ladies first. So, Grandpa, the holidays definitely are not the same without you. As much as I love California, being out here is a blast. It's an adventure every weekend. It's awesome. But I definitely miss you a lot at Christmas. It's just not the same without you passing out presents and putting bourbon on the roast and lighting it on fire. It's just not the same without you. So I really miss you a lot, and I hope you have an awesome Christmas. And Grandma, you're the reason why I know Grandpa's first name is John. Because anytime he does something stupid, you say, John, John. So thanks to you, I know that his name isn't just Grandpa, it is indeed John. Well, also because my middle name is John after him, but I like your story better. I think that's a better reason. So I wanted to kind of save that one for the end, go out on a nice high note, a nice crescendo. But I thought I'd start with you guys because I thought you might fall asleep or take a nap before this video is over, so I wanted to make sure to catch you before you trail off there. And so now I want to address the person who is the next most likely person to doze off, and that's Connor. Yeah, Connor. Because what you gain in youth, you lose in distractibility. But that's okay. That's not your fault that you're a millennial. You had nothing to do with that. Well, you did, but it wasn't your fault. And I hope that Santa brings you that Tesla Model 3 that you want. But you know who needs a Tesla more than you do? Your mom. That's right, Chris. You need a Tesla. Because if a car can drive itself, maybe you'll finally get on those dang freeways. Every time I find myself weaving in and out of LA traffic, going through 8 lanes at 70 miles an hour, well, either 70 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour, depending on the time of day, I think, wow, Chris would love this. And Chloe, whatever you're doing now, hope you're having fun, having a good holiday. Hope college is treating you well. And Mom and Dad, don't think I forgot about you. Thank you for everything, because obviously I wouldn't be here without you. And Mom, always enjoyed your Christmas cookies. They're always awesome. And Dad, well, I know you were very tolerant. I know it's not easy to spend every Christmas without, any of your blood relatives, well, except recently, now that Luke lives fairly close by. But, I know that you made sacrifices or made Um, you bend it a little bit so that mom could see her folks, and Brian and I could see all of our grandparents and cousins and aunts and uncles. So thank you for that. And I know it wasn't easy when we lived in New England to drive down to Orlando every year. Boy, that was a bit of a chore, no doubt. And Brian, I need to thank you the most. Thank you for providing our parents with grandchildren so that I don't have to. Thank you a lot for that. I appreciate it. And you may think, well, I still need to do that anyway. Well, not necessarily. I mean, I'm kind of ambivalent about having children, possibly because I'm 40 and Val is almost 40. Because whether you have kids or not, either way you get something that you wouldn't otherwise have. And I was talking to my coworker about that, and she said, that's what someone who doesn't have kids would say. I'm like, yeah, no shit, that's the way it should be. I mean, I hope you're not ambivalent about having children if you already have them. That'd be pretty messed up. But then again, in her defense, though, she's Mexican, and in her culture, you're considered a freak if you're 25 and you don't have at least 4 kids yet. And so, Megan, I hope you're enjoying your first German Christmas. I'm sorry that you never got to see Brian with hair, and you probably never will. But for what it's worth, you're not missing a whole lot. Great, and Devin, Uncle Matty loves you. Hope you're also having a good holiday. Hope you're enjoying the German life. Hope you guys have adjusted well. I know it's not easy leaving Ohio. No, it's pretty easy to leave Ohio. But hope you guys are having a blast. And looking over my teleprompter here, I got to make sure I don't miss anybody. Sonia, I remember when I first moved to California back in '05, you were the only family I had over here. And even though we spent basically our whole childhood growing up on opposite ends of the country, it was really great to have those 2 years before you moved to Chicago, to have those 2 years to, catch up, make up for lost times, and hang out. I really enjoyed that. That means a lot to me. And it means a lot to me now that, whenever you are back in LA, you make it a point to reach out, even if it's just to grab dinner or get a beer or something. I sure do appreciate that. And, I was just thinking the other day, actually, about when you invited me to a party at your place in Glendale, and I wasn't sure what to wear or what to bring, so I just wore a suit and came in with a bucket of KFC chicken. Yeah, that was the right thing to do. And Luke, thank you so much. Oh, by the way, Sonia, I almost forgot. Happy Hanukkah. Hope you had a good one. I know it started super early this year, but I hope you, Jeff, and the kids just had a great holiday. And Luke, thank you so much for your service. You've certainly had your share, if not more than your share of deployments. So I'm just so grateful that you keep coming back. You keep making it back. I mean, I don't worry too much when you're deployed because I think that worrying is not nearly as constructive as having faith. And I always have faith that you're going to do well and you're going to come back. And so far, so good. So we appreciate you. And I know that Sarah and the kids appreciate you coming back. As you know, we have someone else in our family who did not make it back from a deployment. So knock on wood that you keep making it. Actually, that's marble, but you get the point. Emma, don't worry about that. And Gail, Merry Christmas to you. And I was just thinking the other day, or actually earlier today, that you made a pretty big sacrifice about 10 years ago, and you came out here to California, and you were having a pretty awesome time, and you gave that up to go back to Florida to better serve Julie and your grandchildren. So that's a great sacrifice. I can't commend you enough for that, and I know that Julie and her kids appreciate that, and I'm sure Jonathan appreciates that too. Now he only has to buy one plane ticket to Florida instead of one to Florida and one to California. I know he appreciates that as well. And Brenda, I tell you one thing. I really miss your cooking this time of year. I really do. Oh my goodness. I mean, Valerie's family, they're good cooks, but not like you. And believe it or not, I do get tired of eating tamales, but they are good tamales, though, I will say that. And Rich, you're welcome for Dan Mullen. What can I say? I mean, I'm lucky he didn't leave to go to Gainesville earlier. You know, we had him for 9 seasons, and he did a lot of good for our football program. And I mean, he said no to Florida, what, 2 or 3 times before that? So it was only a matter of time before he said yes. And, can you really blame the guy? I mean, Starkville, Gainesville. I mean, that's a no-brainer if you're not from Starkville, and even if you are from Starkville. And Dorothy and Julie, I'm pairing you two together because you are the most amazing mothers. You really are. Because, you both had kids in circumstances that, most parents don't have to deal with which most parents don't have to deal. Let's be proper about this, I guess. And, you took it like a champ, and you never complained. You never asked for special treatment. You might have asked for help from your awesome mothers now and then, which is totally cool. But, yeah, you girls are rock stars. You are amazing moms. And, Dorothy, I guess I can say this now, but when you had triplets, as stressful as that may have been, I was actually kind of happy for you because I thought, oh, good for her. She gets her kids out of the way with one pregnancy. She doesn't have to do that ever again, but you did anyway. So that shows how loving and warm and unselfish you are. So kudos to you for that. And Isaac, oh my goodness. You are the overachiever. You make everyone else in the family look like slackers. But that's okay because we needed someone to come along and raise the bar here. So thank you for that. And let's see, who else do I have here? Ian, yeah, I guess we'll include you. Ian, thank you for always being that one cousin who is available whenever I'm in Orlando. Usually when I go to Orlando, it's to visit the grandparents. I don't always get to see all the cousins, but if there's one cousin available to hang out and have a beer, it's you. So thank you for that. I certainly do appreciate that. And it looks like your Seahawks are having a pretty good year. Don't think they'll get past LA or New Orleans, to be honest with you, but they are going to the playoffs, which is more than most of us can say, if we're being honest. And Jonathan, if you're watching from Madagascar or Maryland or wherever you are, I can't keep track of where you are anymore. I mean, and if we ever have life on Mars, then I'll just give up on trying to keep track of where you are. But I'm assuming that wherever you are, you have internet access. So Merry Christmas to you and your family, and Anik, if you're watching, hi. I hope the kids are doing great. And Angela, thank you for seeing Valerie and myself when we were down there last spring. Thank you for that awesome birthday present. I've used that a few times. It sure does come in handy. And Sabrina, thank you for coming to our birthday party as well, and for showing us once and for all who the best Wingert sister is. I'm sorry, Olivia, but when Sabrina shows up and you don't, then she can't help but win by default. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. I hope you all have an awesome Christmas. I'm sorry I can't be there, but I have no doubt at all that you guys are going to have a great holiday even without us. So, say bye, Ems. It's time to go. Bye.